Okay, right. So before we start the sessions that which are related with administration, since it's a demo class, let me first give you a clear idea of what are the basic requirements to learn administration, right? As far as my experience is concerned, I would say that SQL Server development becomes prerequisite for administration. I mean to say, without having any knowledge of SQL Server, learning administration is something becomes next to impossible. For few days, it looks good, since that we go with few, fundamentals, few basic things, theoretical things. So it looks good. But as and when I start practicals, straight away, I come up with introduction of, writing some advanced level queries. There people get confused. There people get, that confusion point starts from there. So if you have knowledge of SQL Server, that would be added advantage for you. Okay, right. That is one point I would say. Second thing, especially in SQL Server development, in SQL Server development, remember there are two modules in it. Two modules. One is SQL, first module, SQL. In SQL, you should know these things. All the sub-languages of SQL and all SQL objects. Yeah. Some objects are there. For DBA, we don't need them. But I list them for your reference. These SQL objects include tables, one object. Okay. Views, one object. Synonyms, one object. Sequences, one object. Constraints, one object. Indices, plural of index. This is plural of index, indices. But these things will come under SQL objects. Development level में, especially in development level, these all things you learn in depth. Constraint types are there, tables types are there, tables types are there, views types are there, synonyms no classification, sequences no classification, constraints classification, indexes classification. So some objects got detailed things, some objects just that only that particular object, if you learn, it's enough. We don't have classification in it. Now, if you go to specially tables, Asha, what about these sub-languages? What is that it consists of? These all things you study. DQL, 1. DML, 2nd. TCL, 3rd. DDL, 4th. DCL, 5. Data query language, data manipulation language, transaction control language, data definition language, and data control language. Overview kind of thing you learn there, because a developer doesn't need them. Data control language, it's not the work of developer. It's purely a work of DBA. Administrator will take care of the DCL part. But as in development part also, few things I usually cover in my classes. I'm talking about my classes. I don't talk about any administration part in SQL Server development. There is no discussion. The discussion is not at all needed about any administration part in development classes. There we are focused on writing queries. Writing queries. Your all logical things you can implement when you develop your query writing process. Data query language. One of the vast topics that you would say available in SQL Server development. DQL. You understand? Mm. And then we go with what second level that is called T-SQL, that is transact SQL. Yeah, transact SQL, because here it deals with coding, programming. Yeah. Administration is completely different part. No comparison with this, what I'm writing. These all things are, I'm saying that as a DBA, you should have idea about. Because in other batches of mine, I have experienced people, they have come to a point of administration. They started working, but when I started creating table, when I started creating views for demonstrating things in administration, then I have realized that they don't have much, idea on the concept of tables, views, constraints, those things they're not aware of. Then again, I need to brush up a kind of overview kind of thing I'm supposed to give for them. Then I can take them to a next discussion on administration. As do admin needs total coding part? No, I don't say that. No. Administration, we don't need any coding part. No, not at all. Though we have, especially in T-SQL, you have two types of coding process. Anonymous block, that is something called unnamed blocks. And second, they call stored blocks, or you call them as named blocks. This is at buffer level. This is at database level. And third is CLR integration. This is for .NET developers. My point is that the point what I said is, if you go through the SQL development classes, or if you learn SQL Server, if you already have a knowledge, nothing to worry. This is, I'm saying, for those people who don't have knowledge of SQL Server development. Because in SQL Server development sessions, that would be a session of, around 35-40 days. So in that 35-40 days, daily you practice the things, whatever I said now. So at least you'll be familiar with the terminologies that you come across in the practicals of SQL Server development. Then you go to admin level. That would be a very added advantage for you. This is second point. This is another issue. Like, people will be there, like, and they want to learn administration and few things of SQL Server development. They have some idea on it. Over. Sufficient. I'm not saying that you should have in-depth knowledge of development. No. But at least you should know, when I'm writing some queries in administration level, so you should be in a position to understand what exactly is that I'm trying to do with that query. Because especially in data query language, this is for your knowledge, I'm saying, when you learn data query language, I'm going to talk all these things. In my development classes, what I do, that I'm showing you in my development classes. Notepad. File. Open. Online sessions. SQL Server. 2 p.m. DQL. Yeah. Data query language. Here, can you see? Select the command when you learn in DQL. Obviously, these all things we learn. These all things. Individually, we learn individually. So if you don't have knowledge of writing queries, or if you're not familiar of writing queries, and in between my explanation or in between my writing process of query in administration, if I come across something to use called column aliases, or if I've come across to use something related with joins, that should not confuse you, is my concern. You want to see? Yes. A lot of things are there. And this is, acha, you want to see here, classification of joins. File. Open. 12 p.m. Joins classification. Somewhere I covered that. That will also help you in understanding how process this is. Now, I want to talk about these things now. Development level, I explain development level. Here, what I will do, I'll directly write the query. I can't explain everything about that query because that we have lot of syllabus, lot of content to discuss at administration level. And you will not be allowed, even as a DBA, you will not be allowed to work on all the modules of administration. No, they will put you to work on a specific module initially. Slowly you become a senior DBA. By the time you become senior DBA, you have knowledge of total SQL Server, all modules thoroughly. That is the reason I would say that my administration classes, however, initially fundamental things we will study. After that, we'll go with full-fledged practicals exactly from SQL Server, databases. From there, our practical starts. Now, now you see the difference between database at development level, database at administration level. In development level, database part, I just give how to create database. That's it. Only that part. I won't explain anything. Basic things of database I'll cover. But as a DBA, you should know both things. Logical structure of database, you should be aware as a DBA, and you should be aware even physical structure of database also you should know. Yeah. That is what definition of database says. Database, how do you define? Logical collection of objects and physical collection of files. Logically objects, physically files. Developer need not know about physical. DBA should know the physical level of database. Yes, you should know. Physical level. What is physical level? That is what I was saying. You should know about something called file group. You should know something about called data file. You should know something about extent. You should know about something called pages. You should know about something called data block. File में, hard disk में, in hard disk, physical level of database is maintained in this way. Hard disk में, I'm talking about hard disk. Physical is hard disk. Logical is without hard disk. I mean, those things that will be managed without connecting with hard disk. Logical, physical. Okay. Right. And now, especially I said, coding part, coding part. In coding part, remember, this is for your knowledge. Anonymous block deals with all these things. Basic programming. Then exception handling. That too. Structured exception handling. And then we should know about cursors. Developer. I'm talking about developer. Cursors. Oh, cursors mean lot of things are there to study. Lot of things. Though they are not much used in real time because they degrade performance, but still some situations arises where compulsory for a developer, he or she should write some cursor programming. Then from programming, DBA needs to have knowledge on stored procedures. Stored procedures. How many types? Oh, 4 types procedures. 4 types. What are they? System stored procedures. Mention for your knowledge. Yeah. System stored procedures. And all these system stored procedures, they always start like this, SP underscore. And as far as SQL Server is concerned, you have easily 2000 plus system stored procedures. Easily 2000 plus system stored procedures. Second, extended stored procedures. We don't much come across to use them because most of the extended stored procedures are only documented. You don't find them any kind of help available for you. Documentation. Only it's available. It's only about that it's available. But you don't get help. But it will work. You don't get help. It will not be visible, but it works. That is what I mean to say. Extended stored procedures. Always they start with XP underscore. Third, user-defined stored procedures. Yes, this is developer level. And last May, we talk about temporary stored procedures. Total 4 kinds. Then comes stored functions. Here 2 types. Scalar valued functions and second is inline functions, that is called table valued function. And especially the last one, CLR integration, which Microsoft has introduced in SQL Server exclusively for .NET developers. And you know one interesting thing about it, CLR integration is by default always it is disabled because that is not for normal SQL developers nor it is for administrators, purely for .NET developers. So what the .NET developer will do whenever he is in need of CLR integration, he enables it, he uses it, he disables it. That is what I mean. Common language runtime. Common language runtime. Yes.
సార్ SQL సర్వర్లో మీరు సబ్ క్వరీస్ కూడా చెప్తారా?
100%. You want to see that? Yes. Not bad. Subqueries mein, I'll discuss the topic like this. First, I'll show you how that SQL Server and subqueries part will be covered in my classes. Control F, subqueries. Yes, I already see. I say them most important for developers. Subqueries. This is the classification. Two types you'll have. Normal subqueries, correlated subqueries. Based on execution, 4 types are there. 4 types. Single column, single row, single column, multiple rows. The other two, Microsoft SQL Server doesn't support. My multiple column, single row, multiple column, multiple row, we don't have that support. No. Total 4 types at execution level, 2 types at use this one usage level. These all are examples. These all complete assignments. And in my classes, I'll be giving up them to I'll be explaining them through assignments even, so that they can also be involved in writing querying process. All this. Complete subqueries. These are correlated subqueries. That subqueries part itself, I take up at least for around 1 week. That much detail we actually go with. This is not my first time training. You might be, management has already said you this almost I'm into training from past 21 years. And I'm working on SQL Server for past 15 years in all the 3 modules of SQL Server. I'm a corporate trainer as well. These are the things I mean that you should have a knowledge. And usually people only feel that SQL means hardly like 5-6 commands. If they know, they feel that they're done with SQL. These many things are there. This is not the work of developer that you are aware of 5-6 commands and done with SQL. Here, what I do here, you know about TCL, right? TCL, Transaction Control Language. Transaction Control Language. Now, development level, what I'll do, development level, I'm talking about development level. Transaction Control Language, when I say, first you should know what is transaction. Okay. Then you should know properties of transaction. Yes. I cover in my classes. Acid properties. What is atomicity? What is consistency? What is isolation? What is durability? And after that, I'll directly show them what is commit, what is rollback, what is save transaction, what is begin transaction. And then I'll explain them what is implicit transaction, what is explicit transaction. But that much only. Not indeed. But when it comes to our classes, first part, you should know the working of transaction at physical level. That is the work of DBA. That developer need not know about all that stuff. He is not involved in that activity at all. You should know. In one of my batches at 8 o'clock, 8 to 9, I take up one DBA class. In afternoon 3 to 4, I have one DBA class which is going on currently. So in those classes, this is for your knowledge, I cover working of transaction. And that transaction, I usually go in this way of here, internal working of transaction. In this discussion, lot of things that you come across to learn at physical level, lot of background processes that you come across to learn. Then slowly from transaction, I'll take you to take you to concurrency control. That will allow you to discuss something about locking mechanism. locking mechanism. In that locking mechanism, you will experience how to work with shared locks, how to work with exclusive locks, how to work with intent lock. Then we will study how to work with deadlock and what are the ways you can reduce deadlocks as an administrator. Transaction control language at development level will be different, and transaction control language at administration language at administration level is different. Yes. And I said here, right? I said tables is one category. It is one topic. Yes, tables. I don't discuss any of these tables part in my DBA classes. But whenever I need, I create it. But explaining about those tables and all, that becomes very lengthy. That becomes wastage of time. Tables. What tables? Yeah, first category. Yeah, user-defined tables. You create your own tables. Yeah, second, you can have something called dictionary tables, which also called catalog tables. Then something called, you call them as temporary tables. Temporary tables. Then something related with called magic tables. Then we have something called table variables. Types of tables. Do we learn them? Definitely not. 100% not. No, that is not the work of admin. You don't create tables. You have a lot of works to do at administration, server level. Your work is at server level. Developer works as client. Developer works as client. Developer will connect to us. We don't connect to developer. Developer needs server. Server doesn't need client. Yes. Afternoon 2 o'clock. We started just yesterday or day. I mean, yesterday or what? I don't remember the date. 2 days over. Like, I mean, it was today's what? Wednesday, right? Yeah, Wednesday. Monday we started. That's the discussion you have with management. Puneet, you can talk to management and they'll give you the details about it.
Okay.
And now another point. When I talk about views, yes, views may first you should know what is a view, why do we go for a view, what types of views we have. Views may, these all things will come. Something called simple views, something called check option views, something called indexed views, something called complex views. Complex views. You should know. Then only you will be in a position to understand what TMVs. Then only you'll be in a position to understand DMFs, dynamic management views, dynamic management functions. Right? And finally, one more point. In this stored block programming, that you need to have idea about stored triggers. today in one of my batches of SQL Server, they're at the ending stage. They are going with the classes at 12 p.m. For them today, I took the session on triggers, and that is it's all this some examples I covered for them, all related to triggers here. Triggers here. This is DML, DDL instead of triggers, stored triggers, advantages, and how triggers work. How do they? How you implement them? Little part of trigger we come across even in admin level as well. Little part of triggers we come across even at admin level. Yeah, everything. Yes, high availability features they come under. High availability features. You're talking about on lock shipping. Actually, it comes under four topics are there in 4 to 5 topics in high availability. Replication, lock shipping, mirroring, clustering, always on, indexing, patching. They come in different category of our course. That we study in performance tuning, performance monitoring, performance troubleshooting, server and database issues. And you know one thing, when I start my practicals, whenever I start my practicals, small practicals will be doing, but my actual practicals start when I show you installation of SQL Server. That too, for developers, I won't talk much about that installation. No, I just say them how to install. I'll guide them how to install. I'll show them practically how to install. But I won't explain much about that installation part because that is not their work. You learned from me, DBA, Puneet?
No, sir.
From whom you learned then?
I haven't learned.
You're asking me, will I clear my interview if you have learned DBA? That's what your question is, right?
My experience is on SQL developer.
Achha.
But the calls are coming with SQL DBA only. Developer jobs are very less. That's why I started this batch.
Achha. Okay. Yeah, now I got it. Because your question was giving some other meaning, so I asked you.
So will I clear my interview after this?
Definitely.
Hi, sir. I have one more question.
Okay.
Actually, I am a Windows Server administrator.
Yeah.
For our customer, my company customer, SQL also, I need to handle it for troubleshooting, backup job fail, something SQL related.
Kumar, your voice is very low. I'm unable to hear you.
Okay. Now, okay. Can you hear me?
Now it's fine.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Actually, I am a Windows administrator.
Okay, that I have heard.
Yes, sir. I want to handle my customer MS SQL database also, administration part only, not a development. So I don't have a idea. I'm a like a MS SQL about we had only I know. So I want to handle that job fail or that disk is full due to MS SQL. So performance issue.
Yes.
So like that, I want to handle it, sir, for the customer queries.
Okay.
So how to
that if you are looking forward only to that stream, then your job is related with administration only. But as you said that you don't have any knowledge of SQL.
Yes.
So I would suggest you to learn SQL Server development also, that will not put you a big trouble in understanding those things. Hardly in 1 month or so, you can wind up learning all the parts, all the concepts related with SQL. And administration, there are a lot of things that practically you should first learn, you should implement, because you can't do those direct impracticals on an, in a production server directly.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
They won't allow you to make things directly, without having a proper knowledge. Your experience, you're confident enough to handle, even if something goes worst on production, then the situation is different. You are new to DBA, you're new, and you're new to a working environment of administration, connecting with SQL Server. Then they will not allow you to directly work on production. They give you first access to non-production, practice on non-production, checking the things on non-production. Slowly you can migrate to production. Okay, Kumar?
Yes.
Did you get me?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, actually, what is the timing, sir? SQL development?
Kumar, again, your voice is low.
My God. Yeah, what is the timing, sir? SQL Server Development course?
SQL Server Development batch, which I started on Monday, it was at 2 p.m. 2 to 3 is the class timing of that batch. And administration is at 9 to 10.
Night 10 o'clock.
9 to 10 is our batch. Our class, DBA administration.
Okay. Actually,
one DBA batch is going at 8 o'clock, 8 to 9.
Okay. Actually,
and
development.
One DBA batch is at ending. They are at ending point. For their performance tuning, everything is over. Now, high availability features are going on for them. That is at 3 o'clock, one DBA batch.
Okay. But SQL you told now, sir, SQL development course required
Development
for you.
course is at 2 p.m. That is new batch. I just completed one or two demo classes.
This is it's not a suitable time for me.
Achha,
Because
okay.
9 to 5, 6 o'clock is my shift timing.
Achha, yes, your office timing. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, do one thing, Kumar. You just talk to management, collect my 2 days session videos about this SQL Server development. Later we'll plan for a change of timing and all. Just you collect the demo videos, you go through them so that you can make yourself comfortable to attend my sessions even on development.
Okay.
Yeah. You just go through those.
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, coming to another important point, as an administration, I'm saying, as an administrator, remember, I said that every DBA will not be allowed to work on all the modules. Sometimes, you're done with 3, 4 or 6 months of experience, you're done. 1 year of experience, you're done. But they are making you to handle only security related issues. Only security related issues. So your daily job is to handle or take care of only security concerns. And sometimes a DBA who will be allowed to work only on a job role related with backup, restore, and recovery process. Only those things. Backup, restore, and recovery. And then job shift. Like a person who was working on security, he'll take care of backup, and your job was on backup restore, you should take care of security. And then slowly we'll go to databases, security, backup restore recovery process, then performance part. Performance. How to compress tables, how to compress data, table partitioning. Development level, I won't talk on all this. These are things not needed. And lot of things are there, I don't know whether you people are aware or not. I mean, if you're already experienced on SQL Server, then definitely you may be aware, you may be aware, about this DBCC, database console commands. Lot of things that we require from this DBCC. people call by different names. Like either you call the database console command or they call database consistency check, DBCC. Lot of options, lot of hell. List is the list. From that list, some will be helpful for developers, some are helpful for administrators. Big list, big list. And it is not full. Some are hidden in this. Some are hidden. Alternate if you find 67, 65. Alternate if you count, almost 32 options are there in this. 32 options. And lot of options needed. For whom? Admin. Developer hardly works with 3-4 options in that. But lot of things are there for administrator, DBCC. Performance tuning, troubleshooting, monitoring, these all things we come across. Do you understand what I'm saying? And you know about this, about execution plans. You should have knowledge. In-depth knowledge you should have about execution plans. Execution plan at text level, execution plan at XML level. XML level. And execution plan, when it comes, I'll show you some of the plans which I have come across in my administration classes. So some example, just to give you an idea, not to explain you all that stuff, what is needed, but just to give you an idea. Here, stored procedures. Yeah, this is one of the stored procedures. Just take this example. Yes, this is my execution plan. For everything, there is one plan that takes care of for your process to do. For everything. Yeah. Notes I'll give. That's what my focus in the session will be, only to focus practicals. Will not waste time on writing notes, on discussing notes. My focus will be on practical. Soft copy already I've prepared from past many years. I'm working on this. So already in every batch, some notes I used to type. That final notes is available with me. The total notes I'll be giving you. Nothing to worry on the notes.
Sir, during the course,
interview related queries, your real-time things to discuss, but which I have come across in my experience. Those things I'll try to share with you.
can you support me any technical issues, sir?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Already
I'm giving that kind of job for 2 people.
Okay.
Who are in,
Okay.
Let me not disclose. I won't tell. I'm just saying you for your knowledge.
Yeah.
2 people. One of them is working in Accenture.
Okay.
Giving a job support for them.
I'm working in a Siemens, sir. Siemens
Okay.
LTD.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
But,
actually corporate trainer for many. I visit to many companies. I don't know whether people are aware or not. There is a company called Scient Limited, right?
Okay.
I visit to them.
Yeah,
I visit BHEL, Administration Wing for SQL Server.
Okay.
Artha Solutions is one company. Choice Solutions is one company.
Okay.
And Novel Software Solutions is one company.
Okay.
These are the companies to which very frequently I'll be visiting them for administration as well as for development.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't worry about notes and all. Videos management, the videos are in the management control because the videos are recorded in cloud. So the control will be with them. Day-to-day videos, they'll be uploading. Nothing you miss of it. And the second thing, notes, you leave it on me. I'll take care of notes. Don't worry about the notes. I'll take care of total part. Right? Was clear for everyone? You still have any questions to ask me? Go ahead, please. However, tomorrow will also be a demo class for you. You can attend that session as a free session, so that when you feel you're comfortable in receiving me in all the points, whatever I'm saying in the class, then you can make your mindset to continue with us in going forward for to learn other things of administration. Yeah, my concern, because it is demo class, my concern was to give you some idea on administration part and development part, how they are different. Okay, so keeping these things in view, tomorrow's class I will come up with one first architecture of how administration level deals with two types of environments. Two types. One is called stand-alone environment, and second is called clustering environment. And what is my point is, instead of making you learn those topics theoretically, I would rather make one simple architecture considering some example, and will make up that architecture so that you can easily understand how a standalone environment for administration will be helpful in managing database. Okay, first I'll cover few basic things I'll discuss tomorrow about SQL server. First, I'll give you that idea, right? And slowly I'll take you to administration part. Today, maximum things I discussed already here about SQL, about different tables, about types of sublanguages, SQL objects, T-SQL mein what all will be covered. And you know one thing, especially in stored procedures, remember this please. Whenever you are learning, wherever you are learning, or if you already have a knowledge, remember stored procedures may you should have knowledge of some logical coding part I cover here, and I cover embedded SQL, and even I'll discuss dynamic SQL. Total SQL will be of 3 types. Here we learn about SQL with commands. Then we cover about embedded SQL and dynamic SQL in stored procedures I cover. I don't know how other people will do, but I feel this is best way to learn things on SQL part. Okay, this is clear for everyone.